So in this section, we're going to look at these things called Lewis dot symbols. And Lewis dot symbols are simply the elemental symbol plus dots that depict the valence electrons in that atom. Okay, so what we're going for ultimately is to be able to determine the structure of covalently bonded things. So covalently bonded compounds or molecules. And to do that, when atoms come together to form bonds, it's the valence electrons of the atoms that actually interact. So what we want to do is have some way to depict the element along with its valence electrons. And we do this through these things called Lewis dot symbols. And then ultimately we're going to combine those symbols and make structures based on the formula for the covalent compound we're looking at. So if we go back and try to remember how to determine valence electrons. Remember, valence electrons were the electrons in the outer energy level, the highest energy level of the element. And it's pretty nice because the periodic table is put together based on the electronic structure of the atoms. And if we look, the number of valence electrons is basically based on the column the atoms are in. So the alkali metals, the first column, all have one valence electron. The alkaline earth metals all have two. That 3A column that has aluminum has 3 valence electrons. And then carbon, the column with carbon has 4 valence electrons. The column with nitrogen has 5 valence electrons. The column with oxygen has 6 valence electrons. The halogens all have 7 valence electrons. And then the noble gases, except for helium, because helium only has 2 electrons, but the rest of the noble gases have 8 valence electrons. So when we're going to write a Lewis symbol, we're going to write the element symbol plus a dot next to it, or on top of it, or on the bottom of it. Just treat it like it has 4 sides and put it on one of the sides. So the Lewis dot symbol for hydrogen is the H and a dot. We could put that dot on the top if we wanted to. We could put that dot on the left side. We could put that dot on the bottom. Doesn't matter. That's all those are correct Lewis symbols for hydrogen. Okay. If we go over to let's say carbon. Carbon has 4 valence electrons. So what we do is we put a dot on each side. We don't put them together yet. We put a dot on each side of carbon, and that shows the 4 valence electrons. Now if we go to nitrogen, which has 5 valence electrons, that means there's going to be a pair of electrons somewhere. So in this case I put the pair on the top, but you could just as easily put the pair on the right side. But we're only going to have one pair, okay? So that's the Lewis symbol for nitrogen. If we go up to, let's say, neon, neon has 8. That means all of our sides are going to have that pair of electrons. So we have 8 total valence electrons shown there, okay? Those are Lewis dot symbols. This is a little table that's got all of them for the different elements. Again, like for any of these, the dots can be on any side, except you don't pair them up until there's like 5, right? So you can see all these, like for 4, there's 4 valence electrons, we put a dot on each side of the elemental symbol. When there's 5, we pair one group and that's it. When there's 6, we pair 2 groups. And again, it doesn't matter which side has the 2, which sides have the 1. It doesn't matter. And then the noble gases, except for helium, the noble gases have 8. Okay? So we're going to use these to draw structures in the next section.